Here with Scott Cook. Scott, you had a great car out there tonight. Had a big lead early on. How disappointing is it to not have a chance at a top 5 finish or a win tonight at the end of it?
We've been a top 5 car all year, you know. And obviously, you know, it shows tonight. And you know, guys out there who are veterans, you think you can race with, you know, obviously you can't. And you know, you do something to some guys like Peterson tonight, you know. I guess it was a grudge in the heat race when we smoked him on the restart on the initial green, and I just do what he does to everybody else. I rode him up a little bit, and he didn't like it, so I guess this was a payback in the feature. You know, track doesn't want to do anything about it. As you can see, the car count is down from 28 cars to 16. I think 8 cars finished tonight. We won't be back. And it's just sad. It's a nice track to race at, but unfortunately, you know, it's political. You know, tech is ridiculous. There's no real tech every week. It's whatever rule book they decide to pull out. Who's in tech? That's what they'll check. You know, 94 should have been DQ 2 weeks ago for illegal heads. They let it go. Mark Rude overruled them. Said to let him go. It was a publicity type deal where they didn't want bad publicity for Dylan in the track, and obviously it shows. He's not dominating the field anymore like he used to. And like I said, the calls are just inconsistent. You know, they don't. It's a sad track to run at now. And with the economy, all the tracks, car counts are down. You think they want to stiffen up the rules and the penalties and you know, make it more inviting for the drivers to come back. You know, the other thing is, you know, when you're only getting 12, 14 cars, and you're supposed to start 26, where's that extra money go?
Right.
A week, it should be going into the drivers who are coming to the track and supporting the divisions. Instead, it goes into the promoter's pocket. You know, there's just all kinds of stuff that people don't realize what goes on. You know, I'm sorry I parked the car in the front stretch, but I had to make a point. You know, I know we had a dominant car tonight. We had a top 3 car. The 48's tough to beat. You know, and Jim Peterson, you know, I don't know what happened with him. You know, I heard he's glad we're not coming back. It's not a loss. So whatever. The way I look at it is, I know our capabilities. We don't send our car out every day like these other guys do. We work hard during the week. You know, we put every dollar we have in it, and you know, Jim's got a chip on his shoulder because he lost a good ride with Ham's Welding because he wanted to be ignorant. So that's all I'm going to say about that deal.
And what are your thoughts on the wreck itself? You had.
Well, we already watched the film.
Okay.
We have a gentleman who films for us. We watched the film. I held my lane, and he never lifted. Went through the grass, and took us out. Plain and simple. Nothing's done about it. The heat race, the same thing. 94 went 3 wide, forced it 3 wide, took out the 87. Nothing's done on that. It all depends who you are and what they see, and you know, that's why the car counts the way it is.
And you said you wanted to prove a point by stopping the car in the front stretch. Was that something you thought did immediately when the black flag came out, or was this just a matter of getting?
No, you know, you get tired of people always coming up and telling you, you know, you got a front-running car, and each week the track's screwing you over because we're not one of their favorites, as to say. And tonight was a good indication. As you can see, there's no tech tonight in the late models. You know, and there's always an excuse for why and why not and this and that. And my point of stopping the car was, hey, let the fans know, you know what, we had a great car tonight. We just got screwed, and they let a former 2-time champion get away with what he did, and it's not right. So I wanted to let the fans know that I was just pleased with the call, and they're here to see a great race, and I thought I put on a good show. So
At least somebody stood up for themselves.
You got him. You know, Woody says it right there. You know.
What's your outlook the rest of the season?
We're not coming back next week.
Do you plan going to Thompson or somewhere else later in the year? Okay.
We got a new car for up there, and I like it up there. The promoters know how to treat the drivers, and you know, there's a lot more respect up there, I think. And they know how to use a rule book up there each and every week instead of 3 different rule books depending on who's in tech, who's not in tech. So yeah, we'll go there and we'll run. You know, and anyone asks me why, and my sponsors, I'll tell them why, and I'll show them the film why. And I'm just tired of it.
He didn't run me down into the grass. He just took a left on the straightaway, and I was already underneath him. By the time I could do anything, he was already across the nose of my car.
He had mentioned an issue in the heat race. Was there any payback or
no,
anything at all that led to that?
I mean, he's got a problem with somebody all the time. You can't block somebody for a whole race, you know. And in the heat race, he drove me a little dirty, but I mean, I expected it, and that wasn't why. There was no payback. It was just a matter of you can't take a left-hand turn on the 3/4 of the way down the backstretch.
I noticed the damage when he made contact under caution. How badly did that affect the car?
Well, it's like having a parachute back there without a quarter panel because you got the whole bumper cover and stuff. But I was lucky it didn't hit the wheel, so we were okay suspension-wise, just body damage.
You had a top 3 finish tonight. Are you happy with the way tonight finished, or do you think that you ultimately had a shot at the win, but you weren't?
Well, whenever you're in the top 3 or top 5, you got a shot at the win. But Ryan's quick. He was a couple tenths faster than me and Corey. Me and Corey were pretty close on times, but Ryan was the class of the field.
Scott said he's not coming back. Do you have any thoughts on his opinion of just he feels some of the rules aren't enforced, or he just felt very frustrated?
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Scott, there's officials at the 3rd turn gate. So when you pull a move like he pulled, they're sitting right there watching. So obviously, if I turned up on him or hooked him or whatever, I would have been sent to the back. They have officials watching. They saw the same thing I saw, and you know, I'm sorry it happened, but sometimes you can't chop people and get away with it.
What's the outlook for this team through the rest of the season? You've gotten some top 3 runs together now lately, and getting this team better. Do you think the car's got a chance to win in the next few weeks?
Yeah, every week it gets a little better, and we've been working hard at it, and you know, that's our goal.